What is love? Is it the fluttering excitement of butterflies in your stomach? The unshakable need to hold onto someone? Or could it be something infinitely deeper, something that transforms us, frees us, and connects us to the very essence of existence? Picture a river, flowing gracefully through valleys and forests, nourishing everything in its path. It doesn't cling to the banks or trap the leaves that float upon its surface. It simply flows, boundless, selfless, and free. This, as taught in Zen and Buddhism, is the nature of true love. Love is not about possession or control. It is about giving without expectation and liberating both ourselves and others. Yet, in the hurried chaos of modern life, love is often tangled in the threads of attachment and expectation. We mistake holding on for care and fear of loss for devotion. But what if we told you that love's true power lies not in keeping but in letting go? Today, we'll embark on a journey into the heart of Zen wisdom, following the footsteps of a young seeker who, guided by a wise monk, uncovered the profound truth about love. By the end of this story, you won't just understand what true love means, you'll learn how to embody it in your own life. So, are you ready to uncover the secrets of love that transcends boundaries and transforms hearts? Let's begin. Love in Buddhist philosophy. In Buddhist teachings, love is not simply an emotion, it's a practice, an art, and a way of life. The Buddha described true love as a path of selflessness, one that transcends personal desires and connects us to a greater whole. Unlike attachment, which binds us with fear and dependency, true love liberates by nurturing the other's well-being without expectations. Zen Buddhism brings clarity to the essence of love by identifying its two defining gifts, compassion and freedom. Compassion is the ability to deeply feel and respond to another's suffering with kindness and empathy. It is not pity, but an act of seeing someone's struggles as our own, fostering a connection that transcends ego. Freedom, in contrast, is the act of letting go. It is allowing others to be themselves, honoring their journey even when it leads them away from us. However, in everyday relationships, these principles often clash with our human instincts. We confuse love with possession. We cling out of fear of loss, impose expectations, and demand reciprocation. These behaviors arise from attachment, a distorted form of love that shackles rather than sets free. But Buddhism challenges us to go beyond these fears, to approach love with selflessness and authenticity. True love is not about what we can take, but about what we can give. To practice such love requires mindfulness. It begins with recognizing our own attachments and insecurities, understanding how they influence our actions. Love shaped by compassion seeks to alleviate suffering and bring joy, not through control but through genuine care. Love defined by freedom is courageous, letting go of the need to control outcomes and embracing the impermanence of all things. These teachings are not just abstract concepts but practical lessons for life. In loving others selflessly, we also liberate ourselves. Love becomes a source of growth rather than a chain of dependence. This philosophy transforms not only our relationships but also our inner world, fostering peace and resilience. To grasp the depth of these principles, let's turn to a timeless Zen story, a tale of a seeker, a wise monk, and the profound transformation brought about by practicing love as an art of compassion and freedom. The tale of the silent monk and the seeker. In a tranquil monastery nestled deep within a forest, a young man arrived, burdened by heartbreak. His heart ached with the weight of unreciprocated love, leaving him trapped in a cycle of longing and sorrow. Hoping to find clarity and peace, he sought guidance from the elder monk, a man known for his wisdom and quiet demeanor. "What troubles you?" the monk asked gently, leading the seeker to the edge of a bubbling stream. "I want to understand love," the young man replied, his voice heavy with emotion. "How do I know if someone truly loves me?" The monk gazed at the flowing water and said, "A person who truly loves you will give you two things, compassion and freedom." The seeker was puzzled but intrigued. Over the following days, the monk shared the wisdom of compassion through the metaphor of the stream. The stream nourishes the earth, quenches the thirst of animals, and carries away leaves. It gives endlessly, without expectation or attachment. This is compassion, a selfless act of offering. To deepen the seeker's understanding, the monk gave him a task: walk through the forest and observe. Return only when you've learned what it means to love without clinging. The seeker ventured into the woods. As he walked, he noticed a mother bird tirelessly feeding her fledglings, unbothered by her own hunger. He saw how trees extended their branches to offer shade to travelers, their roots anchoring the soil to sustain life. He felt the wind scattering seeds, creating new life far from their origin. These acts of quiet giving awakened something profound within him. Love imbued with compassion isn't about grand gestures, but about the consistent flow of care, detached from any need for recognition or return. When he returned to the monastery, the monk greeted him with a knowing smile. You've understood the first gift of love. Compassion seeks not to possess but to nourish, not to take but to give. This is the foundation of true love. The seeker nodded, his heart lighter, but he had one question left. What about freedom? He asked. The monk's eyes twinkled with anticipation. That, he said, is the next lesson. Thus began the seeker's journey toward understanding the second gift of love, a journey as transformative as the first. Compassion, the first gift. Compassion is the foundation of love. It begins with truly seeing others as they are, not as we wish them to be, and understanding their struggles, joys, and humanity. The monk's lesson about the stream teaches us that compassion doesn't have to manifest in grand gestures or extraordinary acts. Instead, it is found in the small, consistent ways we show kindness and care, like the stream nourishing everything it touches without expectation or attachment. To practice compassion, we must first cultivate the ability to listen deeply. In a world filled with distractions and noise, how often do we pause to give someone our undivided attention? True listening requires more than hearing words. It means understanding the emotions and experiences behind them. It asks us to put aside judgment, resist the urge to fix or advise, and simply be present. Compassion also calls us to alleviate suffering where we can, not because we must, but because we recognize our shared humanity. This might be as simple as offering a smile to someone having a hard day, helping a friend through a difficult moment, or being patient when someone's struggles affect their behavior. These small acts of kindness, repeated over time, create a ripple effect, spreading warmth and connection to those around us. However, compassion isn't solely about giving to others. It also transforms the giver. When we act with genuine care, we step outside the confines of our ego. We release the constant focus on our own needs and desires, creating space for empathy and understanding. This act of letting go fosters an open heart, free from the burdens of selfishness and expectation. At its core, compassion is about recognizing that we are all interconnected. The pain or joy of another person affects us, even if we don't realize it immediately. By practicing compassion, we not only improve the lives of others, but also deepen our own sense of fulfillment and peace. The monk's metaphor of the stream reminds us that compassion is not about what we gain, but what we give, and in giving, we create a flow of love that touches everyone it encounters. In the end, compassion is not just a gift we offer others. It is a way of being that enriches every relationship and brings us closer to understanding the essence of true love. Freedom, the second gift. Freedom is perhaps the most misunderstood aspect of love. In our longing to keep those we care about close, we often equate love with possession. We cling, fearing that if we let go, we may lose them. But true love is not about binding another to us. It is about granting them the space to be themselves, to grow, and to follow their own path. The monk's story of the two travelers illustrates this perfectly. The first traveler, captivated by the beauty of a bird's song, decided to capture it, believing that keeping it close would allow him to enjoy its melody forever. Yet, as the days passed, the bird's song faded. Its spirit, confined by the cage, withered. The second traveler, however, chose to admire the bird from a distance, allowing it to sing freely among the trees. He found joy in the bird's melodies, untainted by control or ownership. The monk explained, "Love Like the second travelers, cherishes without confining. It celebrates without controlling. True love allows others the freedom to soar, even if that means their path takes them away from us. Practicing freedom in love requires immense courage and selflessness. It demands that we set aside our fears and insecurities, understanding that love is not about possession but about trust. Trust that the bond we share is genuine, and trust in the impermanence of life's connections. This freedom honors the other person's individuality and their journey, acknowledging that their happiness may not always align with our expectations. Freedom in love does not mean indifference. It does not mean stepping away or withholding care. Instead, it is about creating an environment where the other feels supported and accepted, free to grow into their fullest potential. It is the ultimate expression of respect and understanding. This principle applies to all forms of relationships, romantic, familial, or platonic. Consider a parent raising a child. A loving parent nurtures their child with care and guidance, but also allows them the freedom to explore the world, make mistakes, and develop their own identity. This balance of support and independence is the essence of love imbued with freedom. In the end, freedom is what gives love its purity and strength. It transforms love from a source of fear and dependency into a force of empowerment and liberation. To love truly is to embrace the paradox of holding someone close while letting them go. Applying the teachings, the seeker's journey didn't end with the monk's lessons. He returned to the person he loved with a newfound perspective, ready to apply the wisdom he had gained. This time, he chose a different path, one guided by compassion and freedom. Rather than focusing on his own needs and desires, he listened intently to the other person. He sought to understand their struggles, aspirations, and fears, offering support without expecting anything in return. For the first time, the seeker let go of his need to control the outcome. He stopped imagining scenarios of what could or should be and instead focused on what was. His love became a quiet force, seeking not to possess but to uplift, not to bind but to empower. The result was transformative, regardless of how the other person responded. Whether they reciprocated his feelings or not, the seeker found an unexpected sense of peace. He realized that love, when practiced with compassion and freedom, is not about filling a void within oneself. It is about contributing to the happiness and well-being of another, without strings attached. This approach to love has the power to transform all relationships, whether they are romantic, familial, or platonic. It invites us to shift our perspective, asking not what we can gain, but what we can give. The key question to reflect upon is, am I offering compassion and freedom, or am I clinging and demanding? For example, in a family setting, practicing compassion might mean being patient and empathetic when a loved one is going through a tough time. Practicing freedom could involve allowing them to make their own choices, even if you disagree with their path. In friendships, it means offering support without needing validation or reciprocity. Applying these teachings also requires us to look inward. Are we compassionate toward ourselves? Do we allow ourselves the freedom to grow and evolve? Or are we trapped by self-criticism and fear of change? By practicing these principles internally, we cultivate a stronger foundation to extend them outwardly. In the end, the seeker's journey is a reminder that love is a practice. It asks us to embrace compassion and freedom as daily acts of care and respect, creating connections that are not only deeper but also more enduring. The power of impermanence. Buddhism teaches that all things, including love, are impermanent. Relationships evolve, people grow, and paths may diverge. But this impermanence, far from diminishing love, enhances its beauty. It is precisely because moments are fleeting that they become precious, urging us to appreciate the here and now. Impermanence invites us to let go of the illusions of permanence and control that so often dominate our lives. We tend to cling tightly to people, experiences, and emotions, fearing the loss of what we hold dear. But this clinging leads to suffering, as it sets us against the natural flow of life. By embracing impermanence, we release the fear of change and open ourselves to the fullness of each moment, however brief it may be. This perspective transforms how we experience love. Instead of focusing on the future or fearing its end, we learn to be present with the person we care about, cherishing their presence without trying to hold on to it. Whether it's sharing a heartfelt conversation, a quiet moment of understanding, or simply enjoying their company, these instances become deeply meaningful because we recognize they will not last forever. Impermanence also teaches us to let go with grace. Relationships may change or fade, but this doesn't mean they were without value. Each connection leaves behind lessons, memories, and growth, contributing to who we are. In acknowledging this, we can release resentment or regret and carry forward only gratitude. Moreover, impermanence encourages us to love selflessly, knowing that nothing is guaranteed. We can choose to give our best to those we care about without the burden of expectation. It allows us to honor others' journeys, even if they take them away from us, and to celebrate their happiness as much as our own. Ultimately, impermanence is not a loss but a reminder to love fully and freely in the present. It transforms love from a static possession into a living practice, one that deepens our connections and enriches our lives with meaning and joy. A universal truth. Compassion and freedom are gifts that transcend the boundaries of romantic love, touching every facet of human connection. They are not reserved for specific relationships or circumstances but extend to all beings, friends, family, strangers, and even those we may never meet. Just as the stream flows to nourish all it touches and the bird sings freely for anyone to hear, true love reaches beyond personal desires and preferences to uplift humanity. Compassion allows us to recognize our shared humanity. When we offer kindness to a stranger or extend understanding to someone in pain, we dissolve the barriers that separate us. It is in these moments that we realize love is not limited to those closest to us. It is a universal force that connects us all. Acts of compassion, be it a comforting word, a helping hand, or even a genuine smile, create ripples of positivity that spread far beyond our immediate interactions. Freedom, too, is an essential element of this universal love. It is the willingness to respect others' individuality and choices, even when they differ from our own. By granting others the space to be themselves, we foster an environment of acceptance and mutual respect. This freedom strengthens the fabric of communities and allows relationships to thrive without the weight of control or judgment. Practicing compassion and freedom as a way of life transforms not only our relationships but also ourselves. It encourages us to live with mindfulness, humility, and gratitude. By embracing these principles, we become vessels of love that radiate positivity and inspire others to do the same. In this way, true love is not just an emotion or a bond between individuals. It is a practice that uplifts the collective spirit of humanity, reminding us of the profound interconnectedness of all life. True love is a profound gift, rooted in giving rather than taking. It's the stream that nurtures life without expectation, the bird that soars free yet returns with songs of joy, and the wisdom of the monk who teaches us to release what holds us back. Each of these reminds us that love is not possession but liberation. Compassion is the foundation of love. It lightens burdens, softens hearts, and bridges distances. Like the gentle stream, compassion nourishes those it touches, helping them thrive. Freedom, on the other hand, is the wind beneath love's wings. It encourages growth, respects individuality, and trusts in the strength of connection rather than control. When compassion and freedom intertwine, love transcends boundaries, becoming a transformative force. It shapes us into better versions of ourselves and brings healing to the world. This kind of love doesn't just happen. It is cultivated through daily acts of kindness, patience, and understanding. So, let the stream remind you to give freely. Let the bird inspire you to love without chains. And let the monk's wisdom guide you to practice love as a daily act of giving and letting go. In doing so, you'll discover a love that is as expansive as the sky and as enduring as time itself. A love that truly transforms. If this story resonated with you, take a moment to share it with someone who might need a little light in their life today. Acts of kindness, like this simple gesture, can ripple outward in ways we can't imagine. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join our growing community of seekers, dreamers, and changemakers. Here, we share stories and insights designed to uplift, inspire, and transform. We'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you bring compassion and freedom into your relationships? What small acts of love and understanding have made a difference in your life? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your words might inspire someone else to start their own journey of giving and letting go. Thank you for being part of this journey. Until the next video, keep spreading love and wisdom, one act at a time. See you soon.